Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Meet at 3, hosted by Schooley Mitchell, North America's largest independent cost reduction consulting company. I'm Adam Baker, strategic partner with Schooley Mitchell, and today with me I've got Zack Kavchak from Absorb and Restore. Hey Zack, how are you today?
Good, Adam. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining me today. I know we've got a beautiful weekend coming ahead of us, so I appreciate you giving me a little bit of time before that. I just wanted to pull you aside and talk to you a little bit. Just to start off, would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself, your background, your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, my name is Zack Kavchak. I'm the owner of Absorb and Restore. We're a local water restoration company here in Erie, Pennsylvania. Before we had started this company, I was at Erie Insurance as a property adjuster for the past 5.5 years. Before that, I was working for a local water restoration company. And before that, I was in the military. So once I got out of the military, my wife and I, we moved back to Erie, Pennsylvania. I first got my job at the local water restoration company, got a couple certifications, and learned a lot. I actually just fell in love with helping others in times of disaster, being able to be that comfort for them, being able to handle the disaster that they're facing and give them peace of mind that their personal property items were going to be taken care of, their home was going to be taken care of, and it was in good hands. Those certifications that I got at that local restoration company then brought me into the insurance world. I then got a position at Erie Insurance as a property adjuster. And as a property adjuster, I was doing the same thing, just not getting as down and dirty. And so as a property adjuster, I was still able to help those in times of need and disaster with their home, their personal property. And I thought, honestly, I was just going to be at Erie Insurance for the rest of my career. I thought I was going to be there for 30 years and retire. And after about 5 years, I just felt there was something missing. I wasn't getting the fulfillment that I was looking for. So my wife and I thought there was no better time than to create a business plan for our own water restoration company and go out and start it. And so we just took the certifications and the knowledge I had from working at that local restoration company, and then the certifications and the time I spent in the insurance world working with the other local restoration companies, seeing the things that they did right, seeing the things that they did wrong, and creating our own. And so far it's worked out great. We really do pride ourselves on our core values that we had in the military: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And now that we're almost a year in, we look to grow and hopefully add a couple employees and hopefully grow in size and with our categories as well, and not just handling water, but hopefully handling some other categories like fire as well. So
now I want to ask you, because I thought it was, when you and I were talking, I was getting to know you, I thought it was very interesting that you had both the physical restoration knowledge, but then you also had the insurance piece. And I thought, gosh, it has to position you very uniquely in your industry. Do you think that's what differentiates you from your competitors? Or I guess I'll ask you, what does differentiate you from your competitors?
I definitely think it does set us apart from the other restoration companies, us having the knowledge of handling claims, knowing if a claim's even worth filing, putting a homeowner in the best position possible for financially and for their house. So I definitely think that helps us set us apart from the other restoration companies. Having knowledge of both is really helpful for that reason, for not knowing if something's going to be covered or not, because technically we don't know if anything's going to be covered or not, but we definitely have a good idea, and we can also help them with making that decision on whether it's okay to file a claim or not with their deductible. But really, every restoration company has their own process. Everybody runs their business differently, but the quality is really what we pride ourselves on. Our quality is always there, 24/7, 365. We're an emergency service company. When we show up, you're going to understand that you're in great hands, and you'll have peace of mind knowing that we're handling your home and your personal property.
Okay, so walk me through it, if you will. Let's say I'm like, you know what, I like Zack. I've heard great things from others about using Absorb and Restore. I want Zack's team to be the one that comes in and takes care of my water damage. Walk me through the process. I walk down to my basement and I'm like, oh, I've got water damage down here. My first call is going to be my insurance company, but how do I make sure your team is the one that shows up?
Well, that's also a great question. Your answer that your first call is to the insurance company, or your first call should be to us, the water restoration company. You can make a phone call to your insurance agent and let them know, hey, I have a flooded basement. What do I do? The first thing they're going to tell you is, well, take care of it. It's your home. You need to call a water restoration company to get in there and handle it. So the sooner we're able to get out there, the less damages that are going to occur, the less secondary damages. The longer water sits down there, more cause for rot and mold. So of course, the quicker we get there, the better. First call would be to us, Absorb and Restore. We get there on site, we assess the situation, we take photographs of outside the home, inside the home. We document everything from start to finish. But once we get in there, we extract the water, make sure there's no more standing water. We'll set up dehumidifiers, fans. Those dehumidifiers and fans are usually set for 3 to 5 days. All depends on the materials that we're drying. Every day we're on site monitoring that equipment, monitoring the moisture in the materials, making sure that they're drying properly, making sure the equipment's running properly and consistently. And once we're done drying, actually, let me take a step back. Even during the drying process or before the drying process, an antimicrobial has to be sprayed as well. The antimicrobials that we use are all natural. It's there to kill any bacteria and prevent mold growth. And once we're done drying, we send a full photo report in our invoice to the insurance company, and the insurance company reviews that, and most likely will either send us a check directly or send a check to the homeowner with our name on it to be forwarded. That's kind of a little snippet of how a claim works and kind of how we handle that claim. But even if it's not a claim, even if you don't have coverage for it, or it's, your deductible's too high, and, even if you file a claim, the damages aren't going to exceed the deductible. We're there to help. We have plenty of different systems, I guess I should say, we can use to help you. And we also have a payment plan system in case, times are tough right now. So, yeah.
That's great, because that helps me, because I was under the perception that I would call my insurance company. So it's great that whether I've got the insurance coverage or not, call you first, and then because you're right. Because at the end of the day, I got to get it fixed.
Right.
So that's great. You had mentioned something, because I know we're focused on water, and you said, you're looking to start getting into the fire piece of it. And I think it's ironic, and I'll tell you why. Anybody that spends 5 minutes with you will realize that you've got this huge fire burning inside of you. You are extremely passionate about what you do and the service you provide for your clients. So I love that, but I want to know, where do you get your sources of inspiration to kind of keep that fire going?
Honestly, I remember it even back in middle school. I've had this passion to help others. And so the passion, that fire has always been there. And I feel will always be there, just because of that feeling of being there for somebody in such a time of disaster. But really, I just like to join with a lot of like-minded people, like-minded individuals who have the same passion that I do, who have the same drive to help others. I try and surround myself with those people. You're a product of your own environment. And so we joined the BNI networking group, where of course I met you, and even just meeting with you last week has helped me in my business and even in life. Finding books that pertain to either not just our industry, but in business and in life. And finding a mentor. I have a mentor right now through the BNI networking group who's helping me a lot. I feel like no matter how old you are or how much you know, a mentor is so important in your life to help you grow. And so we just we just like to always have a mentor by our side, somebody that understands what we're going through and can help us.
Talking about that growth, it's very different when you go from working to owning your business and working on that. What's been one of the greatest business lessons that you've learned?
Honestly, owning your mistakes. If you can own your mistake and fix it and understand that what you did was wrong, but as long as you're able to stand your ground, fix it, admitting you're wrong, it builds integrity. And again, that's one of our values is integrity first. As a new business owner, I would never want my future employees to see a situation where being right is more important than being honest. We always want to be honest. We always want to be doing the right thing when nobody's watching. Just acknowledging your mistakes and making them right.
Wow. Now, here's the $1 million question. Right? Imagine our audience only has 30 seconds to watch this interview. What do you want them to know?
Well, I'd want them to know that the core values that we've installed, are those military values: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. We pride ourselves on those values every day. We're constantly learning. We're constantly educating ourselves. We have several educational resources in our industry that we're keeping up with and keeping our certifications on time so that we're keeping up with the industry and we're always on top of things. We want to make sure we're as educated as possible to give the homeowners the best advice as possible.
That's great. Now I do know, I've talked to folks that have referred you out and everyone has been extremely pleased with the service that you've provided. You're on the spot. You are there making sure that it's done.
I appreciate that.
How can people get a hold of you?
Well, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We can always call us at 814-969-5969. You can see us at absorberrestore.com. And hopefully you're going to see some signs popping around our Erie area and you'll be able to locate us. So that's honestly the best way to get a hold of us.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your time, Zach. And for those watching, again, remember, if you go down to your basement and, or anywhere in your house and you've got that water damage, you need someone to take care of it, have Absorb and Restore be the first call you make.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zach. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. You too.
All right.